Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and every once in a while I fall into some information that I really wasn't expecting following a trail that somebody leaves me. So what do I mean? Well, I've been hearing rumblings and people sending me things about Epstein being CFR, Council on Foreign Relations, and Trilateral Commission. Two very, very real, very, very globalist organizations. Now, I hadn't really seen any documentation on this. I don't like going by hearsay. Someone finally sent me the article where it came from, and I did a little digging, and I was able to confirm it. I mean, in 2003, Jeffrey Epstein, 100%, was in the Trilateral Commission. And not only that, it was in Seoul, Korea. And I even have the 2003 Global Governance PDF that came out of that meeting. So what did I learn that surprised me out of this whole thing? We're going to get into the nitty gritty of Epstein, his connection to Summers, David Gergen, Harvard University, and others. But what really shocked me is that there is a lot of stuff that the Trilateral Commission puts out there. For instance, you can go to their website and they have a fact sheet, a Q&A. They had a 2019 list. I wasn't able to find archive lists, right? But what I was able to find were a couple of websites where you can see that Epstein is on that list. I wish they were better than BibleBelievers.org and Lista Completa. But that combined with this article here from the Harvard Crimson, which basically covers everything Harvard University, and then a follow-up in 2018, absolutely confirms that Epstein was a part of these globalist organizations. And what I didn't know that kind of took me off guard, see, look at this. I got to take that off and put that in. Oh, fixed it. Oh, sometimes. Was that the organization started in 1973, but it really started through the Bilderberg Group, another Rockefeller-based organization. Essentially, the Bilderberg Group didn't want Japan in on their meetings. And so in a discussion on the way to the 1972 Bilderberg meeting with Zbigniew Brzezinski, one of the big players in globalism in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and beyond, passed a few years ago. His daughter Mika is the other half of Morning Joe, unapologetic globalist, someone I featured heavily in Invisible Empire and New World Order Defined. Here you can see them discussing it, and then if I hit, I think it's maybe even the next page. Yeah, is it right there? No, let's just make sure. Bilderberg. So there it is right there, and you can see here that he was pushing for Japan to be able to participate. It's right here. The Bilderberg Group promotes understanding and discourse. And by the way, this is an internal document promoting the Bilderberg Group and the Trilateral Commission. Discourse between North American and Western European countries. At the April 1972 meeting, David Rockefeller, as he had done previously, urged the Bilderberg Executive Committee to take a trilateral approach and invite the participation of Japan. When his recommendation for trilateralism was again rejected by Bilderberg, Rockefeller continued to pursue the idea, investigating its application through further consultants with Brzezinski, George S. Franklin, a college roommate of Rockefeller's, at Harvard, who served as executive director of the Council on Foreign Relations from 53 to 71. So there you see the Harvard and CFR connections to the beginnings of, and the Bilderberg connection to the beginnings of what? The Trilateral Commission. And Crypto Beast, thank you so much. Are there any links between Epstein and Bohemian Grove or the Century Club? Is Epstein a Mason? I don't know that he's a Mason, but we are going to get into a slight connection through Harvard University to David Gergen, who has some infamous Alex Jones Bohemian Grove footage. We'll get into that in a minute, but first, I want to show everybody the article that I got this from. It was a profile piece on Epstein from 2003. And notice that they're featuring his trip with Kevin Spacey and Chris Tucker and President Clinton to Africa. All right. But once you see this, Epstein is also well acquainted. You know, everybody's trying to say that they were never acquainted with this guy. They don't know anything about him. No! Epstein is also well acquainted with University President Lawrence H. Summer. The two served together on the Trilateral Commission and the Council on Foreign Relations, two elite international relations organizations. And by the way, Larry Summers is at Bilderberg almost every year. You know, my old colleague Luke Rudowski has confronted him several different times. And so in 2018, they do a throwback to this. They actually talk about the profile they did. See, here's the 2003 profile. But they also mention that in 2004 or 5, he approached David Gergen at the Harvard Kennedy School. He was a professor, okay? And he wanted to donate. Remember, this guy's got his fingers in everything. It turned out he was serious, and we, of course, had to do due diligence on him, as we do with every donor. Sure you did. And the due diligence report that came back said that there were some questions about his past, but that the university saw no reason not to receive the potential gift. Now, he says the idea for the donation was eventually scrapped, but we know that's all bull. We've gone through that, he was donating to Harvard University and other charities well after him being accused. And even up until this year, doing business with Deutsche Bank and others, that's the truth. But David Gergen, just so everybody gets a look, here he is. I think it was back in like 2005, maybe 2004. Alex Jones confronted him about a quote he said about, dancing naked in the woods in Bohemian Grove. So Gergen is a Grover, and there he is talking to Epstein about donations. So I guess you could call that a connection. I'm more concerned about the Trilateral Commission and CFR connections. Now you have to ask yourself, now is he there on behalf of being, a billionaire or in investments, or is he there to compromise people? In other words, is he in intelligence, as it has been alluded to with his fake passport, with a Saudi Arabian address, several stamps in France, Spain, the United Kingdom, and Saudi Arabia. Something he said he never used. And his lawyers claimed, those are from something else. We need to see his real travel records. So again, to emphasize these meetings really quick and how important they are, and how I just showed you that in 1972, on the way to the Bilderberg Group and through the Bilderberg meeting is how they started this organization. This is the document that came out of the 2003 meeting that Jeffrey Epstein attended. Global Governance, Enhancing Trilateral Cooperation. And it was in Seoul, Korea. So here it is right there. This is the meeting. It's 125 pages of draft notes, basically, and what this is. Again, talking about globalism, talking about international agendas, global implications. So I'll say it again. Is this guy really there for business? Or is this an intelligence asset, a Mossad asset, a CIA asset, maybe even a British intelligence asset, since they all work hand in glove with one another, that was gaining information on people through these meetings? And that aspect really hasn't been touched. CFR and Trilateral Commission are big deals, and I get it. This guy rubbed elbows with the elite of the elite, but this needs to be looked at further. And like I said, I was just shocked to learn, that the origins of the Trilateral Commission, something I did not put in my film Invisible Empire, other than, about when it began and, Rockefeller being behind it and all the same names. I didn't realize it came out of the Bilderberg Group and the fact that they did not want representatives from Japan in that secretive meeting. So really big news. We do deep research here. If anybody has anything more, if anybody can get me the official members list from the Trilateral Commission, the PDF files. I was only able to find the 2019, I think the 2010 lists. I'm sure they're out there on the internet somewhere, but Google sure doesn't make it easy anymore. So folks, if you like real news, if you like these types of videos, if you want real information, now is the time to subscribe to the Burmis Brigade. Thumbs this video up, share it on social media, share it on Reddit. A lot of people tell me do the Reddit thing. I'm not that great at those boards, 4chan, 8chan, Reddit. Somebody else, please put this stuff up. We're at the forefront of the Epstein information. Nexium, Bilderberg, Bohemian Grove. We've talked about DARPA, bioengineering. We just talked about, for instance, the ticks, Lyme disease, human microchipping. Adnan Khashoggi, the Saudi Arabian arms dealer, heavily involved in the Iran-Contra affair, that has now been outed to be somebody who worked with Epstein in the 80s. Remember that passport was from Austria for some reason? Really weird stuff. So now's the time to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Guys, I have a GoFundMe. That's how I keep doing it. People are donating. Thank you so much, making it possible for me to pump out 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a day. And guys, with your help, we're going to continue to do so. So thank you very much, and I will see all of you on the flip side.